Come to you in a second. Where's Chris Donnelly tonight? Hello to you, Chris. What's your assessment of where we're at here?
Stephen, I think the existence of the Loyalist flag protest movement is an indictment of the political leadership of unionism and their failure to educate their grassroots as to what the Good Friday Agreement and the logical outworkings of that Good Friday Agreement was going to be about.
About consensus.
It was going to be about... Let me get you, Jeffrey, in a second. Consensus. It was going to be
That's
about equality.
That's what it's about. Consensus.
Let's let him
finish. It's a very
finish.
important point.
Let's let him finish.
Good Friday.
Let him make the point.
But
Jeffrey,
yes, I will. But I'm just going to make this point.
Do you know what? You're not going to make this point.
Okay.
You continue, sir.
Thank you, Steve. It is about consensus.
Yeah,
it is
absolutely.
about equality. It is about parity of esteem. And which is precisely what we have seen from Jeffrey playing to the gallery so far tonight.
No.
Let's talk about Jeffrey's Lisbon City Council Unionist majority. In 2002, they built a new civic council. They named two bridges after Queensbridge, Jubilee Bridge. In 2006, 2007, they gave land away free in the centre of Lisbon so that a UDR monument could be built there. How does that reach out to your nationalists? How does that reach out to the nationalist residents of Lisbon? What does that say about Lisbon being a shared city? It says absolutely nothing. You still in Lisbon have never had a Sinn Féin Lord Mayor. Yet in every single council that is majority nationalists across the 6 counties, there have been unionist mayors because nationalists have implemented power sharing. So if you're talking about building a shared society, if you're talking about a shared future, if you're talking about equality, then what you need to do is talk to people like Jamie, talk to Jim Wilson, because until you preach the consistent message to these people, what we're going to get is people who foolishly believe that they could take us back to the Stormont days of old, where this society reflected just the monocultural British
I will let you reply. Go ahead. And then we'll put into the audience very quickly.
You talk about the Stormont days of old. The Stormont days of old was about majority rule. What did we get on Belfast City Council?
We didn't get a tricolour.
We got majority. Are you going to let me speak now?
Let's let him reply.
We got majority rule at City Hall. That's what we didn't. You talked about the Good Friday Agreement. With respect, I've tried to persuade people to support the peace process on the basis that although we had to swallow and accept a lot, it was about consensus. That our side would be respected, that my identity and tradition would be respected. What did we get in Belfast City Council? My identity and tradition was beaten into the ground by a nationalist majority, aided and abetted by the Alliance Party. That is not a shared future, Chris, with respect.